Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of our English podcast. I'm Alex, and as always, I'm here with Maya. Today's episode is all about cities, your city, our cities, and the small things that make every place feel like home.
Hi everyone, I'm Maya, and I'm really excited about this topic. Talking about your city is one of the easiest ways to start a conversation in English. It's simple, it's real, and it's something everyone can talk about. So, Alex, how's your morning going?
Pretty good, actually. I walked to the studio today and the weather was perfect. You know those mornings where the city feels quiet but awake at the same time? It was one of those.
I love mornings like that. They make you notice things like buildings, people, sounds. It's funny, we live in cities for years, but sometimes forget to actually look at them.
True. And that's why today's conversation will be fun. We'll talk about our cities, but also the small daily things, the streets, the routines, the places we like.
Exactly. And we'll keep it simple, friendly English, no big grammar, no difficult vocabulary, just natural speaking, like two friends talking.
So, Maya, before we dive into the details, let's start with the basics. Where do you live these days? I know our listeners love when we share personal things.
I live in Lisbon right now. I've been here for a few years, and honestly, I love it. The city has this warm energy. It feels calm, but alive. What about you?
Toronto, still the same. Still big, still busy, still full of noise and lights. But I like that. It helps me stay awake.
Yeah, Toronto has a very different vibe from Lisbon, but that's good. Today's topic actually becomes more interesting because our cities are so different.
Exactly. Two different cities, two different lifestyles, but the same English expressions. That's the magic. Anyone listening can use the same sentences for their own city.
So Maya, since we're talking about cities today, I want to ask you something simple. What's the first thing you notice when you leave your house in Lisbon? Like the very first thing that makes you think, yes, this is my city.
That's easy. The light. Lisbon has very bright sunlight, even early in the morning. The buildings are white and pastel colors, so they reflect the light beautifully. I walk out and everything feels warm. Even if the air is a little cold, the light feels warm. It makes me feel awake.
That sounds really peaceful. Toronto is very different in the morning. The first thing I notice is sound. Cars, buses, people walking fast. There's always movement. The city wakes up very loudly. But I like it. It feels alive. It feels like everyone is ready to start the day.
It's interesting how different cities wake up in different ways. Some wake up softly, some wake up loudly, but every city has a rhythm. And I think listening to a city tells you a lot about the people who live there.
I agree. And I think people rarely think about their city until someone asks them. It's like the place you live becomes normal, almost invisible, even though it's a big part of your life.
Exactly. And that's why this episode is nice. It's a chance to think about your own city in a new way. Maybe someone listening right now lives in a small city. Maybe someone lives in a big one. But everyone has something special around them.
Speaking of small cities, have you ever lived in one? I know Lisbon is not huge, but it's also not tiny.
Yes, I lived in a small town when I was younger. It was very quiet. The kind of place where you can hear birds all day. The streets were empty after 8 p.m. If a car passed, everyone heard it. It was peaceful, but sometimes a little slow.
That's the opposite of my childhood. I grew up in a busy part of Toronto. Lots of people, lots of noise, lots of cars. Even at night, the lights were bright. I think that's why silence felt strange to me when I first traveled to smaller places.
I understand. When you live in a calm place, loud places feel big and exciting. But when you live in a loud place, calm places feel empty or strange.
Yeah, and it's funny how our cities shape us. Like, I still walk fast everywhere, even when I travel. People in small cities always ask me, "Why are you in a hurry?" And I'm like, I'm not. This is my normal speed.
I know what you mean. In Lisbon, people walk a little slower. They take their time, sometimes too much time, especially when you're trying to catch a bus.
I've noticed that when I travel to Europe, people enjoy the moment more. They stop for coffee, they talk. In Toronto, everyone is focused on getting somewhere.
That's true, but both styles are nice. Busy cities have energy, calm cities have peace. I think everyone needs a balance.
Yeah, and it also depends on your personality. Some people love noise and movement. Some people love quiet and space.
Speaking of space, what's your neighborhood like in Toronto? Is it full of tall buildings?
Some parts, yes, but my neighborhood is mixed. We have tall buildings, but also small houses, a few parks, lots of cafes, some small shops, a library. It's the kind of area where everything is close. I can walk to almost anything I need. That's my favorite part.
I love walkable neighborhoods. Lisbon is very good for walking to, but it has one problem: hills. So many hills. If you walk in Lisbon, your legs get strong very fast.
Oh, I know. I visited once and I still remember the hills. I walked from the city center to a viewpoint and I thought, okay, I need water and maybe a break.
Yes, that's Lisbon. Beautiful views, but also a bit of exercise. But the good thing is, everywhere you walk, there's something interesting to see. Tiles on buildings, little cafes, small shops, bright colors.
That's something I like about European cities. In Toronto, the buildings are more modern, more straight lines, more glass. It's nice, but sometimes I miss older architecture.
Old buildings have character. They tell stories. You can feel the history. Lisbon has buildings from the 1700s still standing. The city feels old, but alive.
I like that phrase, old but alive. That's a great way to describe a city that has history, but also energy.
Thank you. And what about Toronto? If you had to describe your city in one short sentence, what would you say?
I'd say Toronto is a big, modern city with people from everywhere. Because that's true. You hear so many languages on the street, you meet people from all over the world. It feels very international.
I love cities like that. They feel open. You can learn about different cultures without traveling.
Exactly. And food. You can eat food from any country, any day. Indian, Chinese, Italian, Ethiopian, everything is there.
That's amazing. Lisbon has variety too, but not as much as Toronto. But the seafood here is very, very good.
I've heard. People always talk about Lisbon's seafood. I should try it next time I visit.
You should, but don't come during the very hot months. Summer gets crowded. Tourists everywhere. The city gets loud, but in a chaotic, funny way.
Toronto also gets crowded in summer, especially downtown. But I like it. Summer feels short here, so people enjoy every minute of it.
Is summer very hot?
Sometimes, but not always. The weather changes a lot. Some weeks are hot, some weeks are cool, and winter is long. Very long.
That's what I'm afraid of. I don't think I can survive a long winter.
It's not so bad once you get used to it. But yes, the cold can be surprising. One day you walk outside and think, oh, this is fine. And the next day you think, okay, why do I live here?
I understand. Lisbon winters are very mild. Rainy, but not too cold.
That's nice. I think people forget that weather shapes the experience of a city too.
Yes, weather can change your mood, your routine, everything. A sunny city feels open. A rainy city feels slow.
And some cities have both vibes depending on the season.
Exactly.
So, Maya, since we're talking about cities, I'm curious, what's your favorite place in Lisbon? Not the most famous place, not the tourist spots, but something small that feels personal to you.
There's a small cafe near my apartment. It's not fancy, not modern. It's old, simple, and the owner knows everyone. I go there in the morning sometimes, and he always asks, the usual, before I even say hello. That place feels like home, even if I'm just there for 10 minutes.
I love places like that. They make a city feel warm. And it's funny, you can live in a huge city, but one small cafe can make you feel like you belong.
Exactly. What about you? What's your favorite place in Toronto?
There's a small park near my building. It's not a big park, just a few trees, benches, and a walking path. But it's quiet. And in a busy city, quiet places are special. I go there in the evening sometimes just to sit and breathe.
That sounds really nice. Parks are important. They give people a break from buildings and cars. Even a small park can make you feel calm.
True. Some days after working all day, I go there and just watch people walking dogs or kids playing. It reminds me that life is simple, even when the city is fast.
I think every city has a small escape like that. A cafe, a park, a street, a bookstore, something that feels like your own little corner.
Yeah, and I think these places tell more about a city than the big landmarks. Anyone can visit the famous spots, but only people who live there know the hidden places.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes a city feel personal. You build a map in your mind, your cafe, your street, your favorite grocery store, your bus stop.
Right. And sometimes those places are not beautiful in the traditional sense, but they're part of your routine. They're part of your life.
Speaking of routine, what is your usual day like in Toronto? Do you have a typical routine?
Pretty simple. I wake up, make coffee, check some emails, and then usually walk out to grab breakfast. I like walking to small bakeries instead of cooking in the morning. It wakes me up.
That sounds relaxing. In Lisbon, my routine depends on the day. Some days I work from home, so I stay in my neighborhood. Other days I travel to different parts of the city for meetings. Lisbon is small, so it's easy to move around.
Do you use public transport a lot?
Yes, the trams are my favorite. They're old, yellow, and slow, but charming. Riding them feels like time slows down. What about you? Do you use buses or trains a lot in Toronto?
I use the subway mostly. Toronto's subway system isn't huge like some cities, but it's convenient, and trains are fast, which I like. Buses too when I'm going to places not close to a station.
That likes cities where public transport is easy. It makes life simpler.
Definitely. But I also enjoy walking. I think walking helps you understand a city better. You notice small details, street art, house colors, small gardens, signs.
Yes, walking shows the soul of a city. When you walk, you hear people, you smell food, you see daily life. Cars hide all of that.
Exactly. And different cities have a different walking energy. In Toronto, it's fast, very fast. People walk like they're late for something.
In Lisbon, it depends on the area. The city center is full of tourists, so it's slow, but some residential areas have a calm, local pace. People walk slowly, talk to neighbors, stop to look at stores.
I like that. It sounds peaceful.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's too slow, especially when you're trying to go somewhere quickly and the street is full of people taking pictures.
Oh, I know that feeling. Toronto has tourist spots too, and I try to avoid them during peak times.
We all do that in big cities. Locals always know the quiet paths.
True. That's a skill you learn living in a city. Finding shortcuts.
Yes, and you start to notice small details, like which street has shade in summer, which street has less wind in winter, which streets smell good because there's a bakery on it.
Exactly. For me, there's one street in Toronto that always smells like bread. There's a bakery that makes fresh sourdough. Every time I walk there, I feel hungry.
That sounds wonderful. I love cities that have food smells in the air, like coffee, bread, spices. It makes walking more enjoyable.
Food is a big part of city life. Every city has something unique. What's a typical food in Lisbon?
Pastéis de nata. They're small custard tarts. Sweet, warm, soft. People eat them with coffee. They're everywhere. And they're delicious.
I think I've tried them once. Very good.
Yes. And your city? What's something Toronto is known for?
We don't have one famous food because people come from everywhere, but poutine is popular. It's fries with cheese and gravy. Heavy but tasty.
I've heard of poutine. It sounds like comfort food.
It is. Great for cold weather. Not so great for summer.
Cold cities always have heavy food. Warm cities always have light food.
That's true. Weather influences food too.
So many things change with weather, food, clothes, even mood.
Especially mood. Winter in Toronto can make you want to stay inside all day.
While in Lisbon, winter is just rain and clouds. People still walk, still sit outside with umbrellas.
I like that image. People sitting outside even in the rain.
It's a very Lisbon thing. People here like the outside world. Even if it's raining a little bit, they don't stop.
That's nice. In Toronto, people rush inside quickly when it rains.
Cities teach people different habits.
Yes, and the city becomes part of who you are.
Absolutely.